Welcome back to Better Kansas City, and don't let its name fool you. This cocktail involves a tasty trick to give even more flavor to tequila. And Milissa Crawford is here to show us how to make a hummingbird. So first off, I always learn something about alcohol when you're on the show, so it's great. I feel like it's a learning, educational experience.
Exactly.
You like to use tequila, you always like to use mezcal.
Yes.
And today you're introducing a different way to add some additional flavor to those spirits. What's that?
Absolutely, it's fat washing.
Fat washing.
Fat washing. So fat washing has been around for about 10 years. It's not anything super new or hip, but it is really versatile. And it is basically an infusion that you can do to make the flavors of any fat-soluble lipids, distill those into your spirit.
So this is kind of like you talked about infused.
Yes.
So, a lot of people will do that with your vodkas or whatever, but this is more, like, kind of walk us through the process, because you got pork belly fat in here, right?
Yes, so we are using pork belly fat today. We use a lot of pork at Fonda, and it's a nice way to cross-utilize. But also, it adds a really nice smoky flavor. And because it's so fatty, it adds a really nice texture to your spirit.
Really?
So essentially, you're gonna bring it to a liquid temperature and you're gonna combine it with the spirit of your choice. Just make sure it's something high proof if you're using a meat, because there is that risk of botulinum bacteria. So you wanna make sure you have something that's high ABV.
So like a high proof, like a 90.
Something that's gonna be 90 or above would be ideal.
Okay.
Exactly.
Great.
So, and then you're gonna bring it down to a liquid, and then you're essentially just gonna combine it with that spirit and then freeze it. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna create two separate layers, the solid and then the spirit, and you're just gonna skim it off. You can do that with like a cheesecloth, if you will.
Okay.
And what's left is this spirit that's got that slight flavor of whatever you use to infuse, and also a really nice, smooth, creamy texture.
Wow.
So we did ours with tequila, and we put it in combination with a mezcal. So you're actually gonna see both.
Because you're getting the smoky flavor already with your mezcal, right?
Exactly. We're just gonna heighten that with the ponza, and with the pork, we were like, what goes good with pork? Apples. Apples go great with pork. So we did a Granny Smith apple. We also wanted to add some guava nectar for a little punch, and then just to make sure we had some nice roasty notes, we did some fresh cloves and some cinnamon, as well as some lime juice.
Wow.
So that all goes into our hummingbird. So we're gonna cut these apples up and we muddle them in there.
Okay.
Some Ponza fat wash tequila and some mezcal to heighten the smoke. All those other juices, we're gonna shake it up.
The best part. You guys always look like a pro when you do that. See, I tried to shake. I went to a bar the other day and they let me behind it to try to mix a drink, and I just looked goofy doing it.
It takes years and years of practice.
Years and years of practice.
So strain it out. It's nice to have a little bit of that clove left over in there, just to have that.
Oh yeah, because it does have a little. So that's just the clove in there.
Exactly. That's just the clove that I've shaken and strained up, and then so now if you want, that's it.
Do you put? Do you have cinnamon sticks here too?
Cinnamon sticks. We've used a simple syrup with some cinnamon and clove, just to add some nice roasty flavor, so it's nothing too tart. That guava nectar can be really sweet and tart.
That's interesting. What other meats or fats have you used for that? What's it called again? The meat
fat washing
process.
So you can use meats. It doesn't just have to be meats, though. It actually was started with bacon fat at PDT in New York. We've seen canola oil, we've seen sunflower oil, I've seen a really nice coconut oil fat wash that's really fun for vodkas, but it's essentially any fat. So if you're a vegetarian, you can take a different lipid, and as long as it's got a nice flavor, it'll impart into that spirit for you.
All right, well, interesting. Well, I'm going to see how fast my little wings can fly here. We're going to try some hummingbird. So cheers to you, cheers to Port Fonda.
Thank you.